Welcome everyone to Beckoned Development Weekly Stream, episode 27. How's everybody doing tonight? It's just me. Dwight's, again, on a prior engagement, but we love him, no big deals. Oh, I don't know how tonight's gonna go for me. I'm in an interesting mood because, I didn't prepare that this day was gonna be the day. What's up, Reese? How you doing? Yeah. Scoot's in too, so I got two wings. Usually Scoot's got me on the two wings. So, but yeah, it's an interesting day because I woke up not really expecting this, but my buddy Hunter had got a friend of his to do a pretty thorough review of the demo, and then I had another guy, or another person, not a guy, another girl from our Indienomicon local group out here in Orlando, and she's a fellow game dev, so she really went thorough with it too, and there's some goods and some bads. Yeah, not necessarily bads, but I mean there's obvious stuff that needs cleaning up, and we wanted to focus a lot on getting that basic melee turn-based combat twist to it and let you guys feel that out and get comfortable with that, because it's hard. If you've never played anything like it, and ideally you haven't, I haven't, but it does pull from certain things from other action games, like the block mechanic. I knew that was going to be a huge thing about the mechanic, but never did I know it was going to be as transformative as it's been. So there are things we need to lock in on that a lot more too, is making sure that you guys are aware that we're taking that a lot further than what you're getting to experience. So there's more to it than just blocking with Taja's sword and turn breaking, and there's gonna be combos, and I've said that over and over again. And when people give you reviews for fellow game devs, it's not really your job to kind of argue with them back or anything. Just sit back and listen, and kind of take everything in, because everybody's input who are players of your game, I mean, that's your audience, so that's who you're making the games for. So if something's not translating right, maybe you need to go back and rethink it, or take some more times on iteration is a word I heard a lot today, and rightfully so. I mean, things like the voice acting, I mean, yeah, it's me and Dwight, we're trying to throw a concept out there. We would love to have the money and get the team behind to do a full voice act like that and get some real professionals, but we did what we could, like I said, I'm not in this mood of like feeling weird or like down about it. It's been an interesting day. And so yeah, Dwight's off gallivanting. What's up, Debbie Olson? We missed you last time. How are you doing? But yeah, I talked to Dwight before we got on. He was like, "Oh crap, it's Friday." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm at something." I'm like, "Okay, no worries." This is gonna be a more like, more as like, because Dwight hasn't went through the video review yet, and I want him to see it before actually having an opinion. That's good. We're glad you're back. I wanted him to have an opinion about it, and but yeah, I mean, like I said, they're not bad things. It's just I want us to have the opinion, because my next move is going to be based on these reviews or these perspectives. To be able to drive the train in the right direction, you need to discuss where the leverage is weakest. What could be done in, an adequate amount of time to kind of work around that. And that's what a lot of What we don't want to turn into is just a fix for all, like a Tinker Toy. We don't want this to just stay online, and anytime anyone makes a qualm or fuss about it, we're rushing over there to fix it just the way they want it. Au contraire, I've been playing games way too long to bend to certain people's perspectives because we communicated it wrong, we didn't communicate it enough, and there's a lot we're holding back, especially story-wise. A lot of you guys know that is like, we've seen the game and the demo and the prologue. How does any of that relate? You know, and yeah, we're being mysterious, and perhaps mistakenly, maybe too mysterious. I don't think so for as grand of the story as we're putting together, because it is large and it has its subtext, and I don't want to give anything away, you know, in any of that. So it's just educational. So to sit back and just have, I mean, even watching someone learn to block, you know, for the first time. Yeah, you're gonna die. A lot of that is we didn't stick tutorials right in front of your face every time something new comes up, and a lot of RPGs do that, and it may be annoying to some people or players, but at least people know how to play the game. Or you've got more games like Dark Souls, and even they do a good job of communicating the controls, but there are games out there that try to let the player fail upward, where, you know, failing to learn the system is harsh at first, but man, once you get it, it's the rhythm game. And later we want to iterate on that, where that rhythm changes up. And Dwight's plugged a little bit of thing in there with that Miglot that changes up some stuff, you know, in the fight. So you experience it a little bit, but change up some body language. And that's the real key, is how do you know which direction to block? Well, in Punch-Out, you had to read the body language of the opponent. Like their anticipation frame was held back before it punched. And every enemy in Beckoned is going to be designed around that ideal. But the first time you see the enemy and encounter it, more than likely you're going to get hit a few times. So we understand the difficulty curve and coming into it, but then it's interesting to watch people when they actually get the hang of it, because then it's like, okay, this just keeps me engaged in this system that usually gets kind of redundant. Even this might get redundant, but that's where I'm having ideas where the combos are going to get plugged in, the special moves are going to be executed, the magic system it's clunky a little bit for now, but with Deb's help and with Bud's help, and with me and Dwight actually going back into that stuff and kind of just focusing down on getting the structure set up for them to then show them out a little bit better. A lot of the other thing that people are complaining about is not being able to see the enemy UI. Like, there's no indication for what their health points are, how much damage you're doing to them relatively. And again, that might be like game feel is much more enjoyable to play than things just kind of staying mysterious and realistic. When I worked at my first game job, that was the direction for mechanics and art and animation. Was, I want realistic, I don't want gamey, I don't want glistening symbols floating in the air, and that's the same thing, I guess. A pitfall I'm starting to fall into is like, I want things to make so much sense, but I don't want to hold the hand. I want there to still be difficulty, but am I actually increasing the difficulty for no real reason? But the thing is once you get it, it taught you how to play that mechanic now. Now it becomes something you just manage while you are able to keep your tactics going while the turns are constantly rotating. There's no downtime in the battle system, which is more difficult. Every turn is constantly flowing, so if you're going into a menu, you better know what you're doing, or you're probably going to lose your turn fumbling through it. But once you know it and understand its placement and how it all relates and works, but it takes some iteration, or it takes some, some dying, some failing at it. You'll get it. You'll get the pattern of structure. We designed it, so we had to play it with the UI turned off, and I loved that version of it because once you know the game so well and that actual structured dialogue in the programming, it plays much more like an action game that seems to be some sort of turn-based undertone. It seems like just showing the data, showing the numbers and all that, and giving the actual UI system some logic. It's still in its moldable forms. So today has been very educational. How about overdoing good, which was thank you, I did. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Yo, Kenton, you're up in here. Yeah. Yeah, how's it going? It's been a good education day for the Zade Studio devs. And again, none of it's bad. I talk about this on Art Bros, is that kind of honest, unbiased, because they don't know me. So they're giving me their straight honest opinion as if they were going to pick it up and buy it. And they tried it out. So you got to take a lot of it, with the maturity that you're needing their input to make a better product, and it's not necessarily what they're suggesting that would make it better, but if they felt something awkward about something, maybe you need to go back there and mess with it. I don't know how I'm going to deal with the story aspect of it, because a lot of people want to understand what the connection of the prologue is with the gameplay, and the prologue is really thick and all that exposition and giving so much names and and landing them on players who have no concept of what's going on. That is either something I'm gonna stick with to keep the mystique around, but then it feels like I'm doing what Final Fantasy 15 did, and like, it's a universe, so you gotta watch a movie, you gotta come to a website and read about it, you gotta figure it, you gotta follow the YouTube channel. I don't want to do that. So if we didn't explain enough, if I'm saying things like, for example, if you get more story out of the website for the game, maybe my prototype didn't do the best job and should be the main thing that's telling a lot of, like, it should be telling more than what the website is. But our demo wasn't strictly for a lot of lore stuff as much as it's a game. And I wanted to see the game mechanics and people's reaction to it. But we needed to also show that we can, write a story with coherence and keep people going. I think that's a lot of it, is they're wanting to say, I don't understand this, so why don't you work on this? And it's like, we have worked on it, and trust me, the story's a lot more dense, and we would love for it to be more comfortably read to you. So I've got to go back and maybe figure out how to display some things a little bit differently, or stick to my guns, because again, it's like when the curtain gets pulled and the aha moments come out, that's your hook, that should be like your twist, that moment where you've got them, that's the moment you got them. And yeah, Beckoned's a little difficult to get through to get to that point, and pacing and all that. Like, if you're not used, even people that are used to these type of games have had a hard time kind of figuring it out. So, but once they do, they say we're on to something, everything's good. So, woohoo. It's been good. Oh, nuts. Yeah, that'd been fun. Limsa Limenza is a big town in Final Fantasy 14. Back when Realm Reborn came out. So Square screwed up their MMORPG and then went back and remade the whole thing. Fitting to bring that up right now when I'm sitting here and going over, okay, what do we do wrong? What do we do right? And, you know, what can we make? Or, you know, so it's like a lot of these companies with ambitious projects. I mean, I'm not trying to compare myself to Square and Final Fantasy 14. I'm just trying to find the relevance. But yeah, like me and him would play that game quite a lot. And so yeah, the environment is a beachy environment with like towering vistas that look like Santorini, you know. So yeah, in VR, that's gotta be pretty cool, dude. But yeah, if you guys know any, again, I'm gonna say it, if you guys know any buddies or any friends that are analytical, bring it. Tell them to try it out if they got a computer that can. I need the harshest stuff coming at us. So, who's the harshest game critic? Angry Video Game Nerd? Do we get this over to him? But yeah, I mean, obviously there's some expectations. And the other thing is like, casual gamers aren't really the target market, which sounds kind of dumb. It's like, you're into video games, you're gonna try to make a business. Why aren't you targeting casual gamers? They're the biggest part of the market right now. Yeah, because it's phone games, you know. I mean, or would you Among Us would be a casual, but that's a fun party casual, and a lot of those are addictive. There's nothing wrong with them at all. I like quite a few of them, and I need to play Among Us. I need to just figure out what all that's about. Like, what's the deception mechanic and all that. But it's just I guess Beckoned just doesn't make sense in a lot of things. It's like, you know, the art's good, the branding's good, all that's good, and the mechanics are interesting. And I know exactly where it's going, but I'm trying to figure out what's the few little things that we need to possibly just either we leave it in and deal with the conversations, because there's repeated points too, and there's a lot of good points. So we may be taking one more look at it and doing, we've already been updating it too, so Dwight's been crunching away at anybody's, when people are reporting bugs, it's like, yeah, do you see it? Yeah, I see it, let's get it out. And some more are popping up. One of the people that reviewed it today found one in the menu, like, so I was like, whoa, Dwight's gonna be curious about that one. But I mean, those are easy fixes. Yeah, Reese. That's kind of what I was saying. Is I want to jump on it as but yeah. Think of Mafia. There's no real mechanic because no one has anything they have to do. Likewise, they're all once Among Us has the crew have to perform tasks. Whoop! Oh my God, work has been crazy. Hey, Fenrix, how you doing, dude? It's great to have you back. So, do you remember those games we used to play? I think there was some game like if you're describing Among Us to us or to me, I'm thinking of games that we used to play way back in the day, like not like video games, but like little kid games, like tag or whatever. But yeah, I gotta check that out. Well, apparently it's free to play. I thought. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, Fenrix. That's kind of what I was saying. I was like, yeah, I remember like playing those little schoolyard games. But yeah. But yeah, guys, I really hope it's you guys been having a good week. I know it's been stressful for all of us. Joe's trying to get more views by getting political. I try not to get political, you know, so that's how it works around here. Yo, Wiz, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Yeah, but I'm shutting it down, dude. I was just mentioning it. Yeah, because Joe was trying to jump into it last time. I was like, no, don't do it. I mean, I don't care. You all want to talk. You know, I just don't. I talk amongst my people and close people about that, but I'm not into it that much. You know, I'm paying attention. I mean, I see what's going on, but you know, I'm an artist. Don't get political opinions from me. But so see, that's what I'm saying, is it sounds like it's fun because you can, there's like that kind of Looney Tune gotcha about it. Like it kind of seems like it'd be fun to get into. And everyone's been talking about it, but even like Mandalorian, I haven't got into it yet. And good to see Jedi Josh is still standing his boycott. So, for when you watch it later, Jedi. I'm not allowed to say Mandalorian. Okay, a Mandalorian. You can't take that away from me. It's freedom of speech, man. So yeah, I've been working on Grant, you know, just while I've vented, I guess. And you can see how much I'm venting. Medieval times. But I've been working on some other stuff, because in my head I was like, alright, if anything needs work, it would be game feel. Like, how does everything feel? And I know something about the game that could use work would be just Taj running around. He's a little floaty, but that's kind of the way we had set him up, you know. But I had planned to give Taj walk sprays, so here they all are, and the runs are up top. But I'm getting the walk cycles in, and I only have one more direction left. So once that's in there, Taj would have 2 modes of walking. So that's where this comes in, and you can see I've flipped the last direction, and I have to flip his sheath the other direction to keep the asymmetrical design coherent. So, and it's seen at that scale in the game. So, tiny. A lot of work for little bits, but yeah. That's the one thing that everybody's cool with, is the art is locked in. Great. So now that that's locked in, you know, let's start getting more of that back end going. Yeah, Mandalorian, right? I swear George Lucas should have named his daughters that. Doesn't he have like 3 daughters or something? But all right. So back to Grinth, though. Yeehaw! But yeah, so I think last episode we went with the purple and the highlights. I've just started messing with the actual light highlights though. Thanks, dude. Thanks a lot. Ooh, dude, one of the interesting things that I heard from someone today was the prologue's long. I heard two things about the prologue. One, the prologue was long, but the fact we gave him an achievement for watching the whole thing was a good touch. So that was great. But the other review said that the prologue was exposition heavy. It seemed like it was too dramatic for not giving any context to the characters or whatnot. So I sent them the website with the chapter, and I said maybe you'll enjoy that a little bit and kind of see where we started with and boiled down to those slides, because that's what she was pretty worried about saying, was that I know you probably put a lot of work into the image slides, of that prologue, and it's like maybe you might want to go back with your writer and figure that out. I'm like, well, kind of already did that, but we'll work on it, Yeah, to be honest, dude, that's a lot of what I heard today, but a lot of the stuff I'll talk about with that is from a casual game player side, and the other one was an actual pretty seasoned RPG player. So it seems like speed is a lot of it. Is how long are things taking? How easy are they to? It could be the pacing is too long. Like some gamers might be, one of them even called himself pedantic. He was being really honest, and I appreciated that. But maybe it seems like we're milking time by doing a 4.5 minute prologue, and the combat takes forever. Well, the mechanic of blocking increases, and multiple attacks in your turn increases an RPG turn-based mechanic anyway. So yeah, Chrono Cross was a really good example of that, where just by going in and giving the player multiple options to attack from and spending stamina with each action all in one turn, yeah, it made battles last forever. And I'm not citing Chrono Cross as being the end-all be-all best system in the world, not by a long shot, but I had a lot of fun with it, and a lot of people secretly do too. I find more and more people that are willing to say they love Chrono Cross. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It doesn't stop us though. I keep getting that weird artifact when I'm working with highlights on top of things. It's weird. Probably because I have so many other projects opened up. Been working on a bunch of stuff all at the same time. Dwight, I don't even think is expecting me to have been working on the walk cycles. Of course we communicate. I just don't want to drop it on him immediately, because there's a lot of things that'll affect, movement, toggle pressures, not toggle pressures, but the pressure ranges of the sticks, but it'll make animation look a lot smoother, especially if he runs and then when you let go of the stick he transitions to a walk for maybe 2 frames in that slide, if you get what I mean. I also wanted to experiment with how like skid stops, like you're running and then you kind of heavy lean into the stop. Alright, because the combat system is actually, it's a real-time system, there's no time in it where somebody's turn isn't flowing. So if you jump into the menu, which is new in general, and then you're trying to navigate that, the ticker's ticking, like time's ticking away, and you don't have a lot of time to make a decision. That's anxiety building. Just like combat. That, you know, and to learn to manage the small things, like defending yourself, making sure you don't get hit is the first lesson. That's the first lesson of combat. It may be anxiety driving, maybe this, but that's where I'm hoping to, you know, drag your subconscious into the world a little bit, is give it and it'll give back. So if you let the game pull you in and it has your focus, there's a rhythm you'll catch on to. And when you catch on that rhythm and you get the whole reading the enemy's body language to learn, you know, to indicate what direction to block, then you just have to manage that. And once you start able to manage that, you can start playing with other things. More than likely, you're going to try to go for the magic real quick, and that'll feel comfortable, and that'll end it real quick. But then you'll say, well, that's it. No, you're just being safe playing one way. And I've played it like that. That's definitely the speedrun tactic. Yeah, just go to the magic. Spam it. It'll work. Those enemies are actually weak to that, and one of our NPCs actually hint that out to you. So it rewards you with information if you seek for it, you know, and that's where I'm coming with that more. It seems like it's a casual game, like, and it, I don't know. I'm not gonna insult anybody by saying attention spans, but maybe, you know, I underestimated how quickly people needed stimuli that changed, or maybe the biggest thing is they're wrestling with the conflict of, okay, I just got off the prologue, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on, that was a lot of information I don't understand, okay, new game, get into it, wait a minute, who's this? What's this have to do with the prologue? What am I doing? Right. Well, you're going to be running around and getting into fights with things, and not on a randomizer, by the way. If one of them thought that it was on a randomizer, it's not. Dude, prologues are always like that. Yeah, I mean, that's... But you could do it in a kind of a... I thought we've done it great. I mean, I thought the chapter that you wrote out was great, and then the animatic that Joe made, I thought that was beautiful. And although the skills might show out there, did I use it for the right thing? I think I did, because it sets up the story that Kenton knows very well. The rest of you don't. But Kenton knows that that's probably the most perfect prologue for this story, because it does make sense later in the game. Why would I try to give people story elements that are that vital this early? Brings your attention into it. But yeah, that thing was 8 minutes long. I cut it down to 4.5 minutes. Like, taking all that stuff that happens in that chapter and filtering it down. But again, it's about iteration, and I did a few iterations on it, but then voice acting, again, it's like, I didn't get into this to be a voice actor. I'm just trying to do our best to keep it going. And when Dwight did the voice acting first, he did that first. A military guy did that. I didn't do it. You know, you just gotta meet that creativity with, you know, positivity and go, alright, let's do it. Sounds like fun. We had a few people, set of twins. Thanks, Scoots, for that one. They loved the voice acting. They're like, usually we turn voice acting off, but we liked it. And I was surprised by that. I was like, geez. But yeah, like, I need a female to voice Eulafie. I know that. It sounds like a man obviously doing it. But Stranger Things start with little kids hanging out in the neighborhood. Starts out with a mysterious event. Right. Get Reese to do it. To do what? Right? You know, I mean, does she do voice acting? Do you do acting at all? See, I used to do like stage acting, and I'm not too shy of getting into a character, and Kenton isn't either. You know, he could do it too, but I'm not asking him to. But see, that's the other thing, is a lot of it is a technical thing. I don't think a lot of it is about whether the impression is good. It's really the recording equipment, because you can hear the voice bounce off the back wall here. And yeah, we're not in a sound studio that I'm doing it with, but you know, I gotta consider Mike. I'll get it to where. Soothing voice. Oh wow. You need to do mukbangs ASMR with that baking stuff. You don't have to. You could build your voice acting portfolio with Beckoned, Ken. Scoots, you could do it too. We just have to go through a few things. Right. You could, you know, if you wanted to, but again, it's like I need the females. So, you know, trying to get that, and that, it could just be a little bit of sound alteration too. We could just have to take that. Here's the real trick with that prologue and the audio. Someone was, one of the reviewers said they heard someone breathing in a mic, like through the game. I don't know if they meant through the prologue or through the game, but if it's through the prologue, it's because the whole prologue is done in one take, and that's all me doing 3 impressions and switching voices all in one take. It'd be better if it was all in tiny takes, each line, and you program them to be timed, you know, but you could do some big burly females, dude. With some hair on their chin they hang on to. You know, that's the real thing. It's like, for a prototype to let you guys know, hey, we want to do voice acting. Here's the best not really the best I could do, but at the time it was. Now, overhearing it over and over again, maybe I could go back and redo some things, but I don't want to. Yeah, D&D movie joke. I don't want to, you know, voice the whole thing. I mean, if I did that along with doing all the art and stuff, this would be interesting. I mean, that'd be fun. But I'm gonna be real picky with the roles, and that's what I worry about the most, is like when I'm thinking about Taj and Elle Lane, like, they're not voice acting, you know. So that's Bart Simpson is voiced by an older lady who does it really great, but what's Scoot's asking for? Yeah, the machine adjusts the tones. I mean, I have the software over here to start to do it. But I got it right before doing the trailer. So if I wanted to, I could go back and redo that, but I have to kind of plan that with Dwight to rebuild the prologue. And he might not see the need to really do that, because it's not the prologue that's the we're making a game, you know. So there's more attention to be done in other places. So that's the thing about today, is it's like there's a lot of tiny things that we could work on and probably fix. And yeah, you guys are great. Like, you know, Scoots, Fenrix, you know, Reese, all you guys, you know, and Kenton, especially, you know, well, especially Scoots too, but it's been great having everyone come in and put their thanks, Scoots. I just didn't know what else to do. I had to have that voice. I tried my best. When I voiced Wagoda, I actually tried to, like, because there's a bass, or like, in my throat when I talk in lower tones. I literally tried to speak without my voice getting to that vibration lowness, and to get that weird, yeah, that's why but it still sounded like me a little bit until we did a little bit of alteration, and then it still sounds like me to me, but maybe not to any of you guys. You'd start to hear it after a while. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is just like, I need two dudes, two girls, and I need to figure out, like, how to work with the age thing, how to make them sound like kids in the software, possibly. So, screw it. I'll read some lines. Oh, yes! There we go. There we go, Fenrix. Okay, now we got the team. So we got Fenrix and Kenton, and we got Scoots, and it sounded like Reese was chickening out, so, you know. Alright. So, yeah, guys, so welcome to voice acting class. So, well, Fenrix, what I did for Taj in this demo was I pulled the old Theater Peter Pan trick and used Unreal's female grunt voices for when Taj swings a sword and gets hit and, you know, knocked out and everything. That's actually the female voice bank that they have in Unreal that we have access to. So it worked. You know, it sounds like a scruffy kid, you know. So yeah, that's just, you know, I'm kind of a Peter Pan nerd. You know, not like in a weird way, but like Hook is a huge thing. I've got, you know, books on it. I've got this really old one. Scoots ended up hitting me up about this one. She found it and had to throw it out there. But that thing's, what was the date on this? It's like 1930 something. It says copyright 1916. So this is it's an old book. I thought it was a little old, younger than that. But yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Copyright that old. I thought it was written a little bit later than that. But yeah, voice acting. It's just something that we threw together. We didn't really, we didn't expect for it to be a huge feature. And again, it's like me coming up through some game development. A lot of people said your prototype, and I guess, you know, your prototype just needs to get the concept of the gameplay. You know, just get the people to understand how to play it, how it's going to kind of feel. Other people are saying vertical slices are supposed to make you feel like you're playing the game, and we went for kind of a hybrid of that. don't even know if that's the right thing. I like having it out there to get the response back. You know, this being Dwight's first game, that's impressive. So those are the two things that I'm taking out of it is, first off, people are super surprised it's Dwight's first game. Secondly, the art. That takes them. So, if those are good things, but maybe some logic stuff, you know, I want the roughest people critiquing this though. I want the meanest of the mean. And they haven't hit us yet. So if I'm getting this weird about some relatively nice reviews, oh, they were honest. They were honest, but I expected heavier. I expected a lot heavier. I expected to be in a place where I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to do now. Like, they don't like it. It doesn't make sense. It's too hard, or maybe it's too experimental. But then, what's interesting is I have a collection of all these old 90s RPGs. Final Fantasy 7 through 9. Actually, anthologies too. So that was Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 6, I believe. And then just a lot of PS1 era stuff. Black Label. I had one green label, and that was Legend of the Dragoon. But I played these things for so long, and every one of those games did something experimental with that JRPG system. Like, and that's something that I wanted to keep in line, is like, there are some people who made the basic RPG system, and it works great. But you can't repeat it. You could try to find a new twist on it somehow, and our action twist that we've put together is something we haven't seen before, and that's one of the good compliments we got, was like, this wasn't through the reviewers today, this is I think on Reddit, on a Reddit post, someone said this is the most interesting twist to the JRPG system that they've ever seen. And I was like, ooh, I upvote that one. Thank you, buddy. As of course you would want to. But you want to make sure that that type of attitude is consistent, and that comes through what you make. And maybe the combat feels that way, or could give that feeling, but maybe running around and trying to find a box behind level environment isn't the most innovative thing. You know, we have a research. Who's saying research? Research what? What are you talking about? Yeah, all right. Research? I'm not sure what you mean, Scoots. But yeah, just mechanical stuff. All it. It's good to know how things are coming off. I'm just sorry to inform every one of them that, yeah, the story confusion is intentional. I don't want to tell you very much. All old games are research, right? Well, yeah. You've known me enough to claim that too many times. But yeah, they're inspiration. Thank you for keeping me on track, by the way. Now that you said that, now it brought me back to what I was talking about. Each one of those games took a different angle at RPGs. They weren't trying to do the same system. And I'm not saying that there are many people who do, but there are. And the changes are slight. And I remember trying to get this guy who played Medal of Honor and Call of Duty and all, like early stuff, early age. And I was trying to get him to play Final Fantasy VIII. He's never played an RPG before. We were in 8th grade. And his problem with it was, well, how come I can't just run over there and smack him with my sword? And then the enemy came in and attacked him. He's like, wait a minute, how come I can't block that? How come I can't run out of the way? It's not that kind of a game. And they're like, oh, Oh, I love the junction system. So much on my Switch. Squall's at level 99 way before the end of the game, and I equipped his junction with a 99 death on attack. So he's pretty much one hit killing most of the enemies right now. Yeah. I think I broke it by going too much into the junction system, but you know, I love it. A lot of people didn't like it when it first came out. They thought it was the most convoluted and confusing thing. But dude, it's easy once you understand what it is. And that's the other thing I want to bring up is Chrono Cross. If no one has played that, try to play it, but then go and play Beckoned. So. Hey Fenrix, question, now that the demo's out, have you had the ability to play it? And the music stops when I ask that question, making it super dramatic. Do you do the poo-poos? Alright, any UFF8 players out there. Oh, let's see. I wonder if my Squall medallion's in here. Oh, I have the Lionheart medallion. I don't think I unpacked it yet. But yeah. 3 times, 100%. Alright, and Scoots, you thought I played a lot of games. Alright, so how many hours are your playthroughs, Fenrix? Around the, 60, 80 mark, but they're 100% playthroughs, so that's going to increase that time by 3 times probably, 4 times. Oh yeah, that's not that's triple triad, isn't it? Oh, by the way, Fenrix, we have a card game too. And when we finish it, we want to try to do some sort of free mobile release or free PC release of it, but we want to import it into Beckoned, like exactly like how Triple Triad was and Blitzball and Tetra. What was the one in 9 called? Tetramaster? Yeah. Kenton loved those too. So yeah, we have a card game as well. We've been working on it. We worked on it good there for a minute. So Dwight has the basic rules, operating. Some still very no graphics that we've designed yet. I've done a mock-up of it. He might not appreciate me showing it again, but we'll... Card game. There we go. Oh, what are you doing to me, you stinking thing? Okay, so I've got it in somewhere else. Alright. Because I should have it somewhere right up in here. Card game. CCG, something like that. I think I showed you guys it before, though. Oh, here we go. Alright. I think I had 2 versions of it. But this is the one that I ended up landing on. Okay, and not all the cards are on the tables. That's not the one I was wanting. Okay, it's a blend of that one and this one. I like the colors on the... Okay, that's better. All right, so it's a fun, interesting RPG, like almost like a Magic game. There's not land cards, but you're two tuners battling it out with these summon cards or these other your Shadraic masters that send out tuners to basically attack each other with magic. No land cards. I said no land cards. No, none. But it is based off of a simple, 54 card deck. So it's playable right now on like the table, and we me and Scoots actually designed it initially, and then getting Dwight into it, he started building it and started making other rules to it, and it's been awesome. Oh yeah. So guys, thank you all very much for showing back up. We do have about 4 minutes. So Joe's been doing these plugs at the end of his show, so I'm try to go ahead and get this over with. See if I can throw up that. So this is our Steam page. If you have not gotten the message yet, and you're just jumping in this episode, go to Steam and play the prototype demo. It is totally free to do so. And if you like it, please search for the Beckoned campaign on Indiegogo. And here you can sign up for our early bird special. I'll give you more information on what that special is going to be soon. I'm not going to do something weird. We're just making sure the last little bit of accounting numbers and everything are working perfectly. But yeah, you get the quick description of kind of what the features of the game are. At the bottom of the screen is 4 out of the 5 social medias we've got. It's missing our Instagram, so go over there and check that out. But yeah, why don't we throw out the trailer real quick while we got this. A lot of you guys seen. You must engage the darkness if you are going to regain the memories lost to you. You must stay strong.
A lone child's presence does not bode well for the circumstances.
No one can pass.
And inquisitive. It will be difficult.
Well, that's just happy.
But try to remember. You are never alone.
Yeah, and that looked really choppy in the stream window. So hopefully that turned out okay. But, we never know with these things a lot of the time. So you guys still with me, or did it totally drop stream? Error, YouTube is not receiving enough video. Maintain smooth. Yeah, you guys still with me? Or are we buffered too bad? Yeah, if you would go to the Indiegogo page, check out the trailer there, or through Steam. It's all there. So what would be better is I actually have a hard copy, so I should just play that when these things come about. I think it would stream a lot better that way. Did you guys get cut off? Was it choppy? Yeah, that really hit hard, didn't it? That was choppy as hell. I'm just gonna assume it was. It was, but you back to normal. Yeah, now. But anyway, go check out those things. Yeah. It on my side, it went out too. So yeah, that faster internet isn't possible. I don't live close enough to a cable. But like I said, I have other means of showing that trailer if I have to. For the sake of this, I'm probably going to next episode. I'll have the actual copy up there, but I did tell you where to go see it if you're interested, and I'm throwing it up on our Instagrams and everything quite enough. So we're actually gonna do a little promotion, so you start seeing promos for Beckoned, and you already are part of the circles. Just share those promos to your friends. That'd be great. So, guys, thank you all so much for all of the support. It's what keeps us going. It's what makes me listen humbly to a lot of this feedback I'm getting. And Dwight gets that too. We just want to make sure that this is coming off the right way. And yeah, it is. I mean, I'm being reminded all the time through these. It's like, that was your decision, Jeremy. It's like, yes, it was. So I've got to stick to it. Or come up with a reason to change it the right way. But yeah, or improve it. But Dwight's done a fantastic job programming this for his first game. I'm not just saying that. It's really impressive how he took to Unreal, and it's been awesome. It gives us a lot of flexibility. So yeah, guys, thank you again for supporting us. It means the world to us. Scoots, you awesome. Bud, thank you, dude, for coming in. Kenton, thanks, bro. Yeah, I'm kind of keeping that weird wonkiness to her face. You know, kind of honked out to the side like that. And Reese, if you want to, you know, match up with everyone else and do voice acting, you know. But yeah, guys, it's been great. Thank you all very much. And thanks for the enthusiasm on the voice acting. I don't know how many of you are actually serious, but it'd be great to have more variety than just, you know, me trying to do all those. Dwight does a great job with the guard, so that's all good. But Debbie Olson, thank you for showing up again. It was great having you around. Guys, yeah, Scoots couldn't say it better. Good night, all. And I didn't have like in the music coming back in. But that's the wrong way to go out. So yeah, guys, again, good night. Have a good weekend. Stay safe.